Okay, so when I was a little kid, I was super into fantasy. I know I never told this story before, because I haven't told it to anybody before, so I'll tell it here on stream. So when I was a little kid, I was super into, like, knights and dragons and monsters and all that stuff. I was super, super into it. And for a senior trip in the 5th grade, when I was, like, a little kid, every year, the senior trip was the same for when you graduated 5th grade. They would take everybody to medieval times, and I was super, super excited because I never got to go anywhere because I grew up poor, right? So I never got to go anywhere cool, like, at all. And the school had a deal with medieval times where they would get a discount because they would take so many students there every year that they would end up taking the kids at a discounted price. So I was super, super, super excited because school was coming to a close yet. It was coming to a close very soon, so that meant that I was gonna get taken to go to medieval times. And I was really excited. Well, 2 or 3 days before the permission slips were handed out, they changed the fucking destination. Like, hey kids, so you know how we've been telling you all that we were gonna take you guys to medieval times? You know, this super exciting show that you guys were super, you know, excited about with food and stuff? Yeah, you guys were all excited for that? Well, guess what, kids? We're not going there anymore. We're going to boring museum. Boring bland museum. Fucking the most boringest place I've ever been in my fucking life. They traded in a fucking amazing show for a boring, basic museum trip. I was so upset. Like, nothing could console me. I didn't even want to fucking go. Like, after that, like, they said that I handed out the permission slips, I didn't even want to go. I didn't even want to hand it. I didn't even want to fucking give it to my mom. I didn't even fucking care, man. The amount of tilted I was upset. I was betrayed. This was not right. I hated living. It sucked. Anyway, my mom ended up finding the permission slip that I put in my bag, and I did not fucking give to her because I didn't want to go. I did not want to go. And because I didn't want to go, I never handed it to her. And she was like, "Oh, sweetie, I was going through your things and making sure that you had all your homework done. I was making sure you had all your homework done." So she went through, like, I should have known to just throw it away because when I was that age, she would make sure I did all my homework. She would go into my backpack, she'd, like, open up the folder that I always had my homework and, like, permission slips and stuff in, and, like school event stuff had always been in that same folder. So she went in my bag and she took it out and she looked at the permission slip and she was like, "Sweetie." Like, right? That's how I was feeling. I was like, this fucking bitch just handed me this is not where I want to go. I hate it here, right? I did not want to go. I didn't want to go, and my mom found it. So she's like, "Oh, sweetie, you forgot to hand me this permission slip. You're going to this museum?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." "What do you mean?" And I didn't want to go. And she was like, "Honey, why don't you want to go?" And I was like, "Because it's not medieval time." And I fucking cried. I fucking cried. You know what? Like, you know what really sold it? Why I also really wanted to go was because in the hallway of, like, my elementary school, they had photos of all the classes that went. Like, every class got a photo. The hallway was nothing but photos of kids having a good time at medieval times. So, like, literally, I went my entire elementary school life, every single fucking class before me went there. Like, every single class before me and before I even arrived at that school fucking went there. There was photos for the entire hallway was covered in them. And I was like, "Yeah, this looks so great, I want to go." And then, of course, the year I get to go, they fucking end the partnership that they had. They end it. And instead, they're like, oh, the kids were so excited to go to medieval times, but we're not doing it anymore. And we waited until like a week before they were gonna go to tell them this. It was a museum of science, which I am a science nerd, and I do love physics, and I love chemistry, and I love all that crap, you know? I love all of it. But the problem is that's not where I was gonna go. That's not where I got excited to go. This isn't what we agreed upon. Anyway, so I ended up my mom ended up finding it and signing it and telling me to hand it in to the teacher so I could go. Like, she gave me the money to go and everything. It was like $20 or something. Still not fair. I don't give a shit. Still wasn't where I wanted to go. Anyway, so we ended up going, and the whole time, I won't say that I was like upset, but I was so pissed. The entire time I was at the museum, I was furious. I was a petty little goblin. I was so angry. My teachers were like, isn't this cool, sweetie? Look at that cool machine. I'm like, that's not a knight on a horse. Where's the food I was promised? Where's the banger food I saw in the pictures? Like, and they of course they provided us with lunch, and it was disgusting. It was basically school lunch grade shit. That entire trip I'm still heated about. And you know what's the funniest part? You know what's the funniest part too? Is years later, guess what I found out? I don't live very far from a medieval times. I could have gone at any point. Like, isn't that crazy? I moved, right? I moved. I no longer live in the same state that I lived in. I have very easy access to a medieval times now. And I've been living here for like 4 years now. And I never even knew. Isn't that crazy? I finally get to go after my childhood was shattered. I finally can go because like, one, I have money now. I'm not impoverished anymore. I'm not literally starving to death. And I didn't even know it was here. I didn't even know it was here! It's basically down the block, and I didn't even fucking know! I'm so stupid! So how's that for a story time, huh?